Hey guys, welcome back to Fox 5 News Live. I'm Judea Murray. All right, listen, absolutely wild cases that I'm about to unfold for you guys. 4 Georgia jailers, all facing very similar crimes, accused of smuggling contraband into the different facilities that they work at.
I would have arrested the guy that's on the far left immediately. He would have never even been able to get into the jails. I would have arrested the guy on the far left immediately. There's no way in the world that you could tell me that he was out there supervising prisoners. And she had to be busting it down for a real one all the way on the right side. Had to be busting it down for a real one.
Charges feel common. What got them caught is what really sets all of these cases apart. We're going to take a deep dive into what's, in my opinion, starting to feel like a phenomenon. All of these cases we are learning about are all around the same time within the last month or so. So let's start in Fulton County, where we learned on September 2nd there was a shakedown at the jail, and during which they
arrest him immediately. Arrest him immediately. Ain't no way in the world you can tell me that this dude wasn't bringing in contraband. I know he guilty immediately.
Uncovered a quote-unquote substantial amount of illegal contraband.
Hey, why did they do the close-up of him by himself?
Cocaine, marijuana, crystal meth, drug strips, and a cell phone. So here's what tipped the law enforcement off to what happened here at the Fulton County Jail. They say that command staff noticed a breach in a window. They took a look at surveillance camera footage, and it showed some inmates passing items under a fire door. And then there was a search later on that uncovered a note that talked about a drone drop scheduled for either August 30th or the 31st. And it implicated, according to investigators, Deputy DeMarcus Jamal Tinsley. He was the floor officer at the time. So not only has he been accused of helping out with this drug smuggling and that drone drop, but the warrant also says that he allowed 3 inmates from one of the housing units to enter a part of the jail they weren't supposed to be in and remain there from 10 p.m. August 31st until 4 a.m. September 1st without any authority. Who knows?
This is why I can't go to jail, because the prisoners are the ones that actually run the facilities. This is why I can't go to jail, bro, because they all paid off. They all being taken advantage of. They all finessing. They all, bro, if you in there and you as a officer or as a deputy or whatever it is that y'all corrections officer, most of them people is compromised and they letting them prisoners get away with anything. They're letting the prisoners get away with anything. I can't go. I can't go, bro.
What they were doing in that area for that amount of time.
And then they talking about drones is making drops. You shouldn't even be able to have a drone near a correctional facility. That's why they got geofences. If anybody that has ever flown a drone or has ever used a drone before, they have what you call geofences. That's why when, for example, you have an outdoor event or something like that, let's say you got a concert and it's an outdoor concert. That's why you don't see a whole bunch of drones flying through the air during that concert, because they basically implement a geofence that prevents you from being able to go close to that particular area or that particular event. You're supposed to have a geofence around it to prevent certain communications from coming in and out and drones from being able to be remotely flown into the facility. How is this even possible? It's all a corrupt.
According to jail records, Tinsley was booked into the Fulton County Jail on October 8th, the very same jail that he was supposed to be a jailer at. He was released the same day on bond, and he's charged with violating his oath as a public officer and conspiracy to commit a felony. Supposedly he lives in Noonan, Georgia, and his bond was set at $35,000. All right, so that's Fulton County, but that's not where it stops. Over in Henry County, we found out that the man you see on your screen, Officer Miles J. Moxie, was also taken into custody after Henry County Sheriff's Office
I would never feel
launched
safe
a
with him
formal
as the
criminal
correction
investigation
officer
into what they believe was happening at their facility. So This one, he was caught when a detention staff found that suspected contraband during some routine operations at the jail in McDonough.
Thank you for the Croatia
At the time, investigators believed that
video.
there was enough evidence to charge him with violation of oath by a public officer and violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. And because of the severity of the allegations that he was facing, he has also been terminated from his job at the sheriff's office. That's according to agency policy. Now, unlike the other case, we don't have a clear indication of what kind of contraband was found or how much of it was found inside the jail. It's also unclear whether what was found was intended for inmates or for other faculty and staff there at the jail. We also don't know how long he was serving with the Henry County Sheriff's Office before all of this happened. But again, the man that you're looking at on your screen is Officer Miles J. Moxie. And we reported on this a couple of days ago, right here in October. I don't have the exact date that all of this was uncovered, but I believe this is all fairly recent because we just got the information from the Henry County Sheriff's Office. All right, and if that's not enough, let's move on over to Clayton County, where not one, but 2 jail officers were arrested in connection to some sort of contraband smuggling scheme.
So these are all different jailers at different facilities that are doing the same thing, and they all getting caught at the same time. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that you think that you're doing is different than everybody else did it. Somebody else tried it and they got caught doing it. Everything that you think, listen, this is not just for the jailers. This is just across the board. Everything that you think that you doing different, that you think that somebody else is doing, or they got caught doing and you can do it better, you not. For all of you thieves that walk into the store and think that you got a separate way of doing it, that they not going to figure it out this time, you're not smart. You're not wise. For all of you scammers that think that you're going to finesse the PPP, I'm not going to put it in my name. I'm going to put it in my mama's name and all of this other stuff. You're not smarter than nobody else. None of y'all are smarter than the last person, and you are going to get caught and you're going to go to jail for a long time, and you're going to have a felony on your record, and you're going to ruin your reputation, and you're going to mess up your bag. You're going to mess up your money. You're going to mess up your future. Think about it like this, bro. Because I think that everybody has considered doing something. If you're from the hood, or you're from the ghetto, or you're from a place that may be a little less than ideal, I think that at some point, everybody has considered what the possibilities are, right? And I've even considered it in my lifetime. I've considered it in my lifetime. When I was younger, being raised in the hood, and we seen the dope boys riding around in the 96 Impalas and all of that stuff. By the time that we got to the 04 Marauders, I was getting money, and so I could have bought one of those if I wanted to. I decided to buy a Trailblazer SS instead. But when you know, we was growing up, everybody considered it like, oh man, how you getting this type of money? Oh man, how you doing this? How you doing that? All right. But the way that my mind worked, for whatever reason, I've always had a longer term vision of what I wanted my life to be like. And I was always like, but what if I'm not able to get a job when I get older? Or what if I want to go to college, or I want to go to this and I got this felony on my record? Or what if I get arrested and my mama give me a whooping when I get home? What if I get a whooping when I get home? I don't feel like getting a whooping when I get home. I actually want to have my back. I want to have my back. And so for me, the consequences of getting involved in doing certain things was too severe. It was too high. I didn't want to have that felony. I didn't want to be restricted from being able to go out of the country. I didn't want to be restricted from going out of the country. When I was seeing all of these scammers and stuff, and they was pulling off and doing PPP loans and stuff like that, before they ever even released a list, it was nothing that even crossed my mind, because I was thinking to myself, man, they gonna get caught and they about to be in jail and they about to mess up their whole future and their whole reputation. I just was never willing to mortgage my future and or my reputation for a short-term gain. And the amount of money that they got wasn't even nothing significant. Man, we gonna make that 200 million times over. I'm not about to fumble my future for them little dollars. I'm straight. I just don't want to fumble my future for that little bit of money. I got the potential to make all of this money over here, and I'm a mortgage it for that. I got the potential to make as much money on this job. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I ever want to get into corporate America? And that's what I was thinking when I was younger. What if I want to get to corporate America and I want to do this and I want to do that? What if I wind up becoming a YouTuber one day and somebody goes and they try to pull up my criminal record to try to see if I was a fraud or not? They can't do that. Because then you're going to be on the mugshot like this. I didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? I just never wanted that. I always felt like I was greater than the consequences that came along with making a stupid decision to mortgage my future. And then next thing you know, everybody like, oh no, man, come on, man. You can't trust him. I'd rather people have to make stuff up than for it to be real. I would rather people have to make something up. Hey, make it up, try to pretend like it is, come up with whatever assumptions is or whatever. But you ain't never, ever gonna catch me doing something that I'm not supposed to do because I'm unwilling to mortgage my future for it.
The two officers that we are dealing with in this case, their names are Ashley Victoria Lewis Allen and K-9 Officer LaShawn Branch. Each of them are charged with bringing drugs into the jail and then distributing them to inmates. And the sheriff, he has told us that he has a zero tolerance policy when it comes to smuggling contraband, no matter who you are. So they lay
I'd rather
down
not
the law
even take
pretty
the job.
quickly, even though these are technically members of their own team. They say, you cannot do this in our jail. We have to make an example out of you.
Look at them.
So my question, how does something like this happen? Employees are supposed to go through metal detectors when entering the jail, but they're able to hide illegal substances, especially if they have they wouldn't be something that set a metal detector off, but they can hide those substances on their body to avoid detection. There is a checkpoint, but if you put it in the right spot, it might not be noticed or located on you.
Why would you risk it though?
So the
Why risk
contraband, as we all know, or if you don't, I'm going to tell you, tends to sell for really high prices in the jail. These are items that you can't have, so of course everybody wants them. They're willing to pay a lot of money.
It ain't worth it.
And it's not just drugs. People are willing to pay $1,500 for a charger and up to $3,000 for a cell phone.
Not worth it.
Investigators say that Lewis Allen told jail officials, she was the woman that you saw there on your screen, that she was struggling financially and she had just turned to selling contraband to get a little more money. Now, we talked to Captain Jason Bennett.
Right after that, that's all it take. What did I tell y'all in the beginning of the show? What did I say? I said it only take for somebody to be going through something financially for them to have to make a bad decision. That's all it take. One bad financial decision. Hey, I'm struggling financially. I can't do this. I can't do that. Next thing you know, they're going to make a bad decision that's going to chase them down for the rest of their life. Whenever you're looking to make a bad decision, just remember this. I look back, even all the way back to being in the hood, right? And I look back on all of those times of what I could have did in order to try to make that little bit of money and how it would have impacted me if I would have got a 96 Impala back then and all of that. And in hindsight, it just worked out. It's just not worth it. It's such a beautiful decision. In hindsight, it's like, man, that little bit of money that could have prevented me from being a millionaire. Man, that little bit of money, it could have prevented me from doing this. Man, that little bit of money, it could have prevented me from doing that. In hindsight, you're not going to be able to get your TSA pre-check. Bro, you have no idea the amount of things that is going to affect what you got going on. No TSA pre-check, not easily able to get a job, not easily able to get a contractor's position, not being able to get certain government clearances. You can't join this. You can't join that. You're prevented from doing this. You now on a registry if you a sex offender. I'm good. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm straight. It's just not worth it, bro. It honestly ain't worth it. I don't want the headache. I don't want any of that type of stuff. I'd rather just slow motion. We just gonna grind it out the mud. We get it out the mud. Whatever don't work out for us, and it just wasn't for us, and it's not meant for me to have. Whatever don't work out for me is just not meant for me to have. And it is funny because I was vlogging it. You'll see the vlog tomorrow. I was talking to my architect and one of my general contractors. And he was telling me that there are people that have been doing family businesses and all kind of different skilled trades that have made millions and millions of dollars, leveraging a trade in order to start certain businesses. And we have to often at times have multiple different contractors on call because they're so busy. Excavators, plumbers, electricians, architects, people that do the plot plans, all kind of tree trimmers, carpenters, framers, people that do the concrete, everybody. I mean, inspectors, all of these people that are general construction, people that build houses, all of that type of stuff. And they are overwhelmed. These people are overwhelming. So we always got to keep 2 and 3 on top at the same time. And a lot of these guys are retiring and they saying, well, we can't, ain't nobody to replace us. Because nobody actually wants to master their craft. Nobody actually wants to go through it. Nobody actually wants to learn a skill, learn a trade. Everybody wants to sit at home and work from home. Everybody wants to sit in the house. When people tell me that there is no jobs or there's no this, no, I just don't think you don't want to grind. You don't want to hustle. Millwrights, all of those type of people, you don't want to hustle. It's so much money and opportunity and hustle and all of this stuff. It's a lot of money out here. And I was telling him, I said, man, listen, bro, I love my newfound love. I've rediscovered for my love for vlogging, and I got a new love for just everything building. I love building properties. I love doing this and I love doing that. And what I found is that there is nobody that's actually doing what I do. It's only the big boys and it's a couple boutique builders, but there are nobody. I don't know no black people that do what I do. Ain't that crazy? I don't know no white people that do what I do. I know a couple different people, boutique builders, but I don't know hardly anybody. Nobody that is doing. Now you could say, well, yeah, Anton, there's a lot of people in real estate, but there's not a lot of people that's in real estate. There's a lot of people that's getting financed. There's a lot of people that's flipping. There's a lot of people that's doing hard money loans. Ain't nobody actually financing their own projects, got their own crew, building it from scratch, controlling the cost. Nobody is doing what I do. All of these guys talking about getting money and doing this, ain't nobody doing nothing. They just talking. They just selling a course. That's all they doing is selling courses, bro. They just selling courses. They not putting no money out here in these streets. Because he was telling me, and he was like, Anton, you really need to get into the commercial side. I said, what do you mean? He said, you've been building a lot of single family homes and you've been buying them turnkey, and that's been your thing for a long time. He said, Anton, people that I've worked with in the past, they started doing the commercial side of it and they retired off of it. I said, really? He said they retired off of it. He said they never went back to building single family homes. He said, I know you love building single family homes, so that's just your thing. So you always going to be doing that. But they retired off of it. I said, And then he started giving me the game. He told me where to look. He told me how other people was using some of their strategies. I can't wait to share it in the Patreon. I'm going to be talking about it in the Patreon. I got so much content for you guys. I got 3 different live streams lined up over the next 2 weeks. We got a live stream tomorrow on the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. But I was talking to him and he was like, man, you got to get into it. You got to get into this. You got to do this. You got to do that. Ain't nobody actually really putting no money up to do this, bro. They not. They wholesaling. They just talking about it. They can't actually show you no receipts of how it is that they doing it. Ain't nobody putting no money up. Ain't nobody putting millions up to actually build homes and not get an immediate return and then allowing for that money to then flow in long term. People not doing that, bro. They not doing it. And I thought that I was moving slower than usual. It's just that everybody else is financed to their eyeballs. They got their money all the way to the hilts. Hunter Scott says, I'm in a multifamily industry where the big boys play. Yeah, I know. And I'm looking to get into that, but I'm just slow rolling my way into it because I don't know what I don't know. And that's a lot of money for me to be putting up. It's a lot of risk, and I know that it's going to take a lot for me to be able to get that first one done so that I learn the ropes because I always got to learn and I got to actually just jump into it. So I'm preparing myself a little bit differently. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get there. Promise you I'm going to get there. I'm just not ready to jump off the porch yet. I'm not ready to jump off the porch yet.